Hi guys! As I promised last week, I am back with even more pages to set up in my 2026 reading journal. Last week I made and decorated 14 different trackers on 26 pages, and today I am going to finish this journal setup with 15 more lists and trackers. Yes, I never said I am normal, guys. First part of this setup is linked in the top right corner and also at the end of the video if you have not watched it yet and are keen to do so. Over the years, my reading journals had become my favorite thing to work on, and it shows, I hope. Let's go straight into it, shall we? First spread I am working on today is books bought and unhauled, and for this I designed my own bookshelves in Canva. I was looking for some cute designs on Etsy and everything I liked was made in Canva, so I told myself I can do it as well, and I did. It took me maybe an hour or so, and while there are some imperfections, I like them a lot. I of course decorated top and bottom of the spread with washi tapes, and then I tried to fit in as many bookshelves as possible. I might have maybe printed them a bit smaller so they would be easier to fit in, but at the same time I like that I have enough space to write down the book title. Books themselves are not that big. I should have made them a bit thicker, but it was my first time doing this, so I think I did a good job considering. I tried to add a bunch of knickknacks on each shelf, like plants, picture frames, candles, potions, anything really. I will color in some of it today, but most of the picture frames I am leaving for later. I was just not in a mood for it when filming, knowing how much there was to set up still. There were these hanging garlands on most of these bookshelves. I ended up cutting them off so I would be able to fit in the bookshelves better. But I left the one with the spider webs on because that is my favorite bookshelf. I bought 25 or so books this year, so there is plenty of space on these bookshelves. I am planning to write down every book I buy and then color it in after I read it. I made the books bought section intentionally bigger than the books unhauled one because I do not unhaul many books during the year, but there for sure will be few. I will also write in books unhauled on the book spine, and I did not think this through enough, but I think I will color them in as well, just so it would match the rest of the spread. After I put all bookshelves in, I added some decoration, again using Marigona Sully stickers as for most of this full setup. I also selected few picture frames in Canva and printed them out so I could put them around the spread and fill in blank spaces. I also have a little ghosty reading a book. This is just me being indulgent, guys. I printed all of these on the sticker paper, so the coloring was a bit messy. This paper does not work that well with markers, but it still looks okay, I think. Setting up this spread took 37 minutes, and then I spent 11 more on coloring some of the parts in. As I said, I will finish it later. And in case you have not watched the first part of this setup, I like to tell you guys how long these pages and trackers took me to work on, because while it all looks quick and easy in the video, it takes a lot of time. And the 48 minutes altogether I spent on this one spread does not even include idea generation, researching, planning, creating those bookshelves, choosing decorations, and so on. That's like 4 times longer than the time I shared with you. So don't despair if your setups take you forever. Mine do too. Next is Hall of Fame and DNFs. I have to admit, I worked on this spread last. You can see some colorful pages peeking through on the right side. When I was going to set up these pages and I was planning what decoration to use, nothing really worked. And then I have realized I had a small order from Marigona Sully on the way, and there was this Scully sticker sheet which is absolutely perfect for the DNF graveyard page. I shortened it to DNFs because, again, at the last minute I decided to change things up a bit. I also bought this cream cloud washi tape. I have every single one of these cloud washi tapes. They are so pretty. And I also got the one with pumpkins. You will see that later. Oh, now you see the difference between new washi tape and the one I have had for a little while. I have used so much of it already. Okay, the change. Because I do not DNF books often, there are usually 1 or 2 DNFs a year, it felt wasteful to use the full page for that, and also having only 1 page for Hall of Fame was not enough. And since I have already set up everything in this 2026 reading journal except those 2 pages, I had no other option but to fit everything in here. So I decided to tack DNFs on the left half of the page. There is a space for 3 DNFs, which should be enough, and the Hall of Fame will span the whole right page and also the right size of the left page, so page and a half, and I will be able to fit 12 book covers there. Based on how this year is going, it should be enough, and I need to have a space for at least 10 books here because I will use them later. I have to admit this page looks quite different from the rest of the setup, but it brings me so much joy. The Scully stickers are adorable. They make me smile when I look at them, and that is needed on the DNF page because when I DNF a book, I do not even like to think about it or look at it for a while after I DNF it. Yes, I hold grudges against books. Having these stickers there will lessen the grudge. Also, having my favorite reads next to it is, I feel like, a good move as well. I am putting blank 5-star stickers under book brackets in the Hall of Fame because I rarely give a book 5 stars. So if I had to put only those on this list, there would not be many. But there are also books I have enjoyed a lot that did not get 5 stars from me. That's why the stickers. Yes, I tend to stick them to my hand before putting them on the page because then I can pick these stickers up easier and it feels quicker. This way I unpeel all of them at once and I don't have to faff with the sticker sheet. This spread took me 20 minutes to finish and I am so happy with it, especially with the purple washi tape at the top. I feel like it makes the orange stand out even more and I like that a lot. I like to put my book matrix right after the Hall of Fame spread. That way I can reference it very easily and choose which 10 books I will put head to head so I could figure out the exact rank of my favorite books of the year. Is that necessary? Of course not, but it is fun. I tried to do the popular bracket style in the past. In that one you choose your favorite book each month and then you put some of them against each other, and I used that exactly once because there were months I did not really have what to choose from, and then some months it was hard to choose only one because I have had quite a few good reads. With this book matrix I will choose 10 best reads overall at the end of the year, and that's where the Hall of Fame will come in handy. I am trying it out this year for the first time, so I have not filled out my current one yet, but I already like it more than a regular book bracket. This book matrix I found in Jessie Corinne's video. It is linked down below because she can explain it so much better than I. Onto the left side, I will put the book covers in the order they get placed after I do the book matrix magic. I was not really sure how to decorate it, but then my eyes fell on this purple background I printed in preparation for the cover page, and so I decided to use it here. I also added the title and brackets for each book cover. For numbers, I have used the sticker sheet with colorful number stickers from Isobova. I would prefer if these stickers were slightly bigger, but oh well. For the rest of the decoration, I have used some bits and pieces from the Rococo and Regency era sticker sheets, again from Isobova. I have used the main stickers from those in the previous spreads that I have worked on last week, and now I am trying to use the rest of the stickers. I adore that dog with bonnet hat. Is that a bonnet? It is so cute. This page admittedly is one of my least favorite ones in the whole setup, but I feel like it will look so much better after it is filled out with book covers at the end of the year. It took me 14 minutes to make, and the book matrix that I am working on now took 15. Here is the magic part of this setup. There is a big strange looking table with a space next to it to write down book titles. In here I will assign a book to each letter, and then I will go down the table and compare books. So I will start with book A and compare it with book assigned to B. Depending on which one I liked better, I will write the corresponding letter in the white box. Then I will compare books A and C, and so on. At the bottom there is a space to write how many times each book won against other books, and that will give me the final standings. Honestly, watch Jeshi's video, she can explain it much better. Under the table I was not really sure what to put there, so I am simply going to write down the ranking. It is a duplicate information since I will have book covers in the exact order on the left side, because I am a visual person and every time I can, I will stick in a book cover or a box to color in. I put the list of books in there because I just did not want to have that space blank. Maybe if there are more than 10 books I have enjoyed, I could have additional section for those in there, but by how this year is going, I am quite unsure if there even will be 10 books to put into a bracket. Currently I have 9 out of 65 books. That's tragic, but I think I can find one more to put there. As a decoration, I have used a bunch of these fantasy stamps washi tape, and I have created this cascaded effect in the top right corner to mimic the matrix table. Next we have a few, let's say, simpler spreads, and I'm going to start with favorite quotes. In here, as the title suggests, I will write quotes I enjoyed. Not from every book, but a few here and there. There were some quotes I really liked this year, but since I did not have a dedicated space to write them down, I did not, and I completely forgot about them, and now I do not remember any of them. I chose to put the following 3 spreads one after another because they will involve writing, so I figured having them back to back would be practical since I will already have a pen in my hand. My first plan was to have a more visual spreads alternate with simpler ones, but then I have realized I will appreciate doing similar tasks one after another. As a decoration, I am using an extreme amount of this flower corridor PET tape, and I'm going to put flowers all around the spread. Initial idea was to use only purple and pink colored flowers, but I ended up using all of them in order they were on the tape. I made a purple section in the top left corner to make those stand out because there were not that many purple flowers in comparison to the other ones. And lastly, I put in the title. I put it in the bottom right corner because it looks better there. The combination of purple and orange looks so nice. This spread took 21 minutes to decorate, mainly because I needed to cut out the flowers from the tape myself, and it made me appreciate pre-cut versions so much more. Next spread is going to take no time at all because I am going to put this beautiful blue clouds washi tape all around the edges, and since there is no cutting involved, it goes so quick and easy. In one of the corners there will be this adorable girl sticker from the washi tape shop. This sticker tape was one of the first ones I have had from them. It's so magical and I wish I had more opportunities to use it. Sadly, I do not think it is available anymore because I am not able to find it on their website. I then added few blue bows and squares around the corners. Those are from Ikigai Papier, or she goes by Mochi Bujo here on YouTube. This spread was not really planned, but I was listening to the Wuthering Heights around the time I planned all of these, and I honestly played with an idea of reviewing it in just one sentence, and I found that hilarious. Both the sentence and the idea. And so this spread came to be. I will try to write a 1-sentence review for every book in here, but I will see how that will go during the year. There should be enough space for that, considering each page has 35 rows. This spread took 10 minutes to make, and it's one of my favorites for sure. following with the places I have visited. This is an idea I got from Manda Made last year, and I like that spread a lot. Only I wish I would remember to take notes of where the stories are happening. I am using another stamp-like washi tape. It is very colorful and maybe not exactly matching with the rest of the setup, but I think it was time for something different. I believe this washi tape is from Lepikaro, that's a Czech stationery store, and it is sadly no longer open, so I can't leave you a link for this one in the description. But for everything else that is available, you will find links, and I do my best to place them roughly in order they appear in the video, so you will have easier time finding what you like. I put the title in the middle of the spread to make it more interesting. I have it like that in my current reading journal, and I love kind of branching out from the middle. I also added few more stickers from the mostly used up sticker sheets. It was not really needed, but I so wanted to use that little carriage sticker. It felt so fitting. This one took 8 minutes. It might be the shortest time frame in this whole setup, and it looks like it, but you don't really need more here. Now for the more visual spread. This is a space for me to add book covers of 26 books I would like to read in 2026. I do not have all 26 picked yet, so I am not going to add them in here today. I might do that in one of my journal vlogs, or I might do it one evening on my own without camera, depending on how I will feel. I know I probably won't read all of these, but I am enjoying having the list. It is more of a suggestion of what to read, and I like it that way. Also, this list inspired me to tackle in November one of the books I was avoiding and another one I am slowly making my way through. It is also great for me to not forget about certain books I want to read, because the saying out of sight, out of mind really applies to me and my brain. In my current reading journal, I am adding small golden stars next to books I have finished, but for 2026, I am putting small blank 5-star sticker under each book, so it will be easy to see what was read. I was thinking I might print the book covers in black and white, and then cover it with colorful one after reading. That is something I am undecided about, but I really like the idea. If you have any suggestions for books I should read, leave them in the comments. I do read mostly fantasy, but I want to branch out a little into thrillers, horrors and sci-fi, as well as other genres, but these are currently my preferred ones. And I am going to give you a recommendation as well. If you are into fantasy and you have not read it yet, Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wang is one of my favorite books ever. I have read it more than a year ago and I have not read anything better since, but please check out trigger warnings first. Decoration is simpler in this one, so it took only 12 minutes to make. Next is the most colorful spread of them all, and that is, of course, Read the Rainbow Challenge, for which I need to read a book with the cover in a certain color, and I do my best to pick a cover with the majority of that color on the cover. For 2025, I am currently missing only one color for the challenge to be completed, but there were only 12 colors to work on. For 2026, I am going big, and there will be 20 different colors I will need to read for. Will I be able to finish this challenge? Only time will tell. First, I am marking a bracket for each book, and on top of each one, I am adding the title in that particular color, of course. We have crimson, red, orange, gold, yellow, green, emerald, aqua, teal, blue, navy, purple, lilac, fuchsia, pink, brown, white, silver, grey, and finally black. I was going to include a couple more, but there was not enough space for all of them, so I had to cut a few off. It is still a lot, I know. I of course could not miss the opportunity to create very colorful title that I put on top of the spread with the blue clouds washi tape. How could I use any other washi tape in there than this one? On the bottom section I used the stamp shaped washi tape with flowers. There are lots of yellows, greens and pinks, and I wanted to bring some color to the bottom part of the spread as well, since the book covers in there will be darker or less colorful, except the fuchsia one. That one I feel will be quite punchy. This spread took me 14 minutes to set up and I am so happy with how colorful it is looking. The following one will have considerably less color, at least until it gets filled in. But before I get to setting it up, I need to address one issue I have with this notebook, and that is that some of the threads got loose and it feels like some signatures might fall off. So I am using clear tape in the middle of most of these spreads to strengthen the notebook, and it seems to be working. I need to say that that might not be the manufacturing error. I have never had this happen with any T4C notebooks, but I have also not used them as excessively as this one. It is not even 2026 and I handled this notebook a lot, but it might have been my doing because every time there is a washi tape going across both pages of the spread, I do cut it in the middle where the pages meet, because that way tape lays flatly and it is not bunching up on me. I have been using X-Acto knife for a few spreads in the beginning, so I might have nicked some thread. Since then I have switched to mostly tweezers for that, so there would be a less chance of me cutting through the threads. So yeah, I wanted to let you know I have this issue. I am not blaming T4C but myself, because as I said, it might have been my doing. But you know, just handle your notebooks more carefully than I do. Also, I already put so much stuff on these pages and that certainly does not help. I should have maybe weighted the notebook before this setup. That would be so fun to see how much weight it gained with this setup. And then maybe at the end of the year, because you know, I do put a lot of stationery in my journals, especially in my reading journals. Okay, you have probably noticed already that I am working on the A to Z challenge. Decoration for this spread was inspired by the Potion Witch sticker sheet from Ikigai Papier, and I paired it with purple and dark pink clouds washi tapes. I was going to print out all letters for this challenge, but I have recently bought this sticker book from Izabova, and that one is full of black and white alphabet stickers and numbers, and I could not miss the opportunity to use it. I wish she would make a colorful version of this sticker book. She has the numbers sticker sheet I have used in the top 10 books spread, but I think that's about it. I was not sure how the black and white letters would look with all this purple, but guys, I love this vibe so much. After all letters were in place, I put every remaining sticker from the sticker sheet on the spread as well. It made it cuter and less blank for the time being. In 2026, I am going to do this challenge with book titles. I am not aiming to fill this spread completely, and during the year I am not really choosing my reads based on this. It's more of, oh, this fits here approach, but it makes me really happy every time I can add something in here. In my current reading journal, I do have a list for book titles and also for authors, where I go by their first name, and while it is fun, I am keeping only book titles for next year, and I am adding the element of the book covers, since I don't really like the way I have set it up for 2025. I like the idea of it, but it is not working for me, and I take every excuse to be able to glue in one more book cover in the journal. This was relatively quick to set up. It took 16 minutes. Okay, now we're talking. Book Bingo is a tracker that I feel like everybody has or had in their journals at least once, and I totally understand that because it is a lot of fun. For the past year, I was having these regular bingo boards with prompts written inside, and I was not sure where to note the books I have read for each prompt, so then I put another bingo board on top of that, and I added book covers there, but also some prompts did not need a book cover, which then made the whole bingo board look weird. Also, it is not really randomized because I can see what needs to be read for me to get the bingo, which is irrelevant now because I have already fulfilled every single prompt except one, but you get the point. In short, I do not really like my current bingo page. Yes, we live and we learn. I like the idea of it, but not how I set it up. So for next year, there is a big change in how I am going to set it up. I have seen this version of the reading bingo around the internet quite a few times, and so I decided to try it as well. In here, on the left page, there will be all prompts listed in a big table. It might be looking quite confusing for now, but you will see shortly. And on the right page, there is the regular bingo board that's 5 by 5 squares. And this place is where I will be adding the book covers once I fulfill the prompt and figure out where the book cover will go. More about that later. This is admittedly not book-shaped space for the book cover, but I will probably just shorten the book cover and make it square. It might not be the perfect solution, but I am sure the book will be still recognizable and I will like the look of it more than if I put the regular shaped cover in there, so rectangle, and I would be left with blank space on each side. I could maybe make the bingo board narrower, but then it would not look like bingo board and that would just not work for me. So the shape stays and I will make book covers square. I might print them in the right width and then cut the top or bottom off, so I would be left with the most recognizable part of the cover. But I am thinking about making a template in Canva, not only for bingo board, but for all trackers I have here. And the template would resize the covers for me. It might not look ideal, and sometimes the title might get cut off, but it's not like I won't remember what I read and what is what. Maybe I will approach it based on the cover. It remains to be seen, but currently I am leaning towards a laser approach, meaning templates. Well, that was a long talk about a simple bingo board, but I am already working on the prompt list. I am randomly stamping all bingo letters and numbers 5 times, making sure every B has numbers 1 to 5 assigned, as well as I's, N's, G's and O's. That way I can figure out which square on the bingo board it refers to. So if I choose B1, I know it is the first box in the top left corner. I also need to write all prompts in, one for each box. There are 25 prompts, so while there are 2 prompts per row in 11 columns, I made sure to fit 3 in the last one, the 12th one, and that would make 25. It is common to have the middle square of the bingo board as a free space, but I am having a prompt for that one as well, and that is reach my reading goal. So when I will read 53 books, one for each week, I will be able to color in the center square or to make some doodle in there or something. All the other spreads will have a book assigned. I made sure to write that prompt in the box with number 3 assigned, but all the other prompts I randomized. I did get inspired by many book bingos online and with what people shared in various Discord servers I am part of. There is almost half I can plan for, and because you might not be able to read those, I am just going to tell you all the prompts. There is Start a Series, Book Club Made Me Read It, a classic, gorgeous cover, book in Slovak or Czech language, number in the title, published in 2026, non-fiction, also non-fantasy fiction, TBR veteran, finish a series, and one-word title. Rest of these will be based on my emotions or enjoyment of my reads, and the prompts are: did not see that coming, laughed out loud, immersive atmosphere, made me sob or cry, overhyped, a 5-star read, my emotions with 3 exclamation marks, a book I want everyone to read, good plot twist, underhyped, and predictable. I have to say, I really like that I have both prompts I can choose to read for, but also prompts that will get fulfilled randomly. Also, there are few prompts for books I did not really enjoy, so I will get at least some joy from them this way. I cover all of these sections that refer to a place on bingo board with washi tape, so I will have no idea which part of the bingo card I can put the cover onto until I unpeel the washi tape. I do know one square, and that is N3, reach my reading goal, as I mentioned, but the rest is completely random. I was planning on using this gorgeous purple washi tape with green moths from Bailey J, but it was very transparent, so I had to go with simple black grit tape. It is slightly transparent, you can see what's under it when you look very closely, but I can work with that. And that is my bingo challenge. I am very excited to try it out. This was one of these spreads that took a long time, exactly 40 minutes, but there was a lot to do. Next, a tracker that horrifies many, and me as well, when I need to set it up. Reading in pixels. Yes, I am going to make a box for every single day of the year, and not only once, but twice. There will be a section for audiobooks on the left side and for ebooks and physical books on the right. My current Year in Pixels tracker has everything all in one tiny square, and while it looks really pretty, it is slightly overwhelming to look at. That's why I am making separate trackers for 2026. I am placing them on the side, so the days of the month will be written on top and months along the side. There is no real reason for that, except that it looks better, and by making each box 2 squares tall, it nicely fills up the page and it will be more satisfying to color in. Under the table there will be a key where I will assign a color to each section of either pages read or minutes listened. This is certainly not a tracker for everybody. Also, not everyone reads every single day, or they do not track how much they read every single day, and that is okay. Well, I might say that is normal, but I am not normal, and I take pleasure in tracking my reads every day, and that got so much easier by using Storygraph, since it will figure out how much I have read for me. I only need to write down where I currently am in the book. It has become a habit for me to note my reading progress in there every day before I go to sleep, and I am currently on 892 days reading streak. Yes, almost 900. That's crazy, I know. So yeah, I don't really want to break my reading streak, and I will be sad when that happens, but it is eventually bound to happen. I am also going to make a dot in this tracker every day I finish a book. This year I have a separate tracker for me to see days I finished a book, and it brings me a lot of joy to color it in. But for next year I am combining Year in Pixels and days I finished a book into one tracker. There is a lot of trackers already in this setup. 29 to be exact, on 51 pages. Yes, I can't believe that either. That's like almost every tracker that exists. I got overly excited about my reading journal, as you can tell, and I can't wait to be filling up all these pages and adding all book covers. That's my favorite thing to do. This is my current Year in Pixels. It is stunning but so full. I am referencing the key because it works for me, so I want to use the same one for next year. This took 25 minutes to set up both pages together, and I will come back and color in the key later. I totally forgot to do that because I was excited to get to work on the last 3 trackers, and they will all be on this next spread. Starting with a simple decoration. I love this washi tape so much. The top part of the left page is for anticipated releases. There are not many books on my radar, that's why I am making this section fairly small, but it will be nice to have a space for writing this down because I surely won't remember when the books are supposed to be released, and then it comes out and I either totally accidentally ignore that or I am surprised about it. There were quite a few books I was excited for in 2025, but not that many for next year. So I am making 3 sections in there, combining 4 months into one. So the first section is for books to be released from January to April, second one from May to August, and the last one from September to December. Under anticipated releases, I am putting my book wishlist. This is again a list that would be useful this year, so that's why I decided to have it for 2026. I am adding second line highlights to this page to make it more readable. Also, it looks so much better, and I am using this lime green marker. It is a beautiful color, but I rarely have an opportunity to use it. Later I added pink for the headers and also in the book wishlist to check off when I get the book, but I do not really like it. I think just the lime green was perfect, and I actually disliked it so much that I went in next day and covered the pink. I just could not help myself. This page took 9 minutes to set up, and then I spent a couple more correcting that pink mistake. And now for the last page of this extreme reading journal setup. And that is a page for ARCs or Advanced Reader Copies. Those are free copies of a new book given out by the publisher before the book is available, so that there are already reviews and potentially a hype about the book by the time it hits the shelves. They are usually given to people who do review books online, mostly on Amazon and Goodreads. I review my reads in my monthly reading wrap-ups, and I need to write the review either way for my voiceovers, so I could simply copy my voiceover with some adjustments, and I have no idea why I am not doing that already, since the work is mostly done. I was not sure whether I wanted this page in the journal, but every reminder to look up ARCs is welcome since I tend to forget they exist. I did read few ARCs from Book Sirens, so I might look up something there. I am not aiming to read many, just a few. I made space for 6 on this page, so I guess my goal is to read 6 ARCs next year. This was very quick to set up. It took about 5 minutes, and with that, my 2026 reading journal is almost set up. After I finally did not spend all my waking hours looking at these pages, I decided some titles needed a slight change, especially after I got more free with the color choices for later spreads, so I went ahead and printed few titles in different colors I thought would match the decoration better, especially because some of them were blending quite a lot with the background. On this I spent another 15 minutes, and now I can say the setup is finished. And it was a journey. I have spent a lot of time on this, but I couldn't be happier with how this turned out. Even when pinks and greens are not my go-to decorations, I simply could not resist a good cozy theme with witches, and I dare say it turned out super cute. Now let's do a quick flip through of everything I have set up of all 51 pages. I still can't believe I have decorated that many pages in a span of 3 weeks. It was intense, guys. Intense. The first half of this I have set up in the previous video. There is a link to that one at the end if you have not watched it yet and you would like to spend another almost hour with me and this journal. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you got inspired and that there are pages you would like to try in your own reading journal as well. Or maybe there are some you have figured out you for sure don't want to have. And that's okay as well. And maybe tell us in the comments what is your favorite list or tracker in your journal, either current one or the one for next year. I am very happy with all my trackers, but I have to say I am excited about reading bingo, and that is something I did not expect to be saying. I love the added element of mystery by covering the bingo sections, and I also like prompts I have chosen, and I am curious to see how it will go during the year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have absolutely a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.